All right, so we have one more problem we're gonna go through. So in this one, we have the starting mass and velocity of the first vehicle, and it moving to the right, so it's positive, and it's gonna collide with another vehicle that is also moving to the right. We have the force of that collision, and we have the final velocity of the second vehicle. So the first thing we're gonna do is find the total momentum of the system before the collision. So in this case, I'm gonna take the mass of my first car times its velocity plus the mass of the truck times its velocity, and I'm going to get 14,000 plus 2,300 times 6. We're gonna get 27,800 kilograms meter per second. Now next, it's asking the impulse of the collision, and we want to remember that impulse is the same as change in momentum. So since I have the starting and ending velocities of the truck, that's what I'm going to use to figure out how much its momentum changed, which will give me my impulse. So I'm going to do 2,300 times the final velocity, 9.34, minus 2,300 times the starting velocity, which is 6. So I get 2,300 times 9.34 minus 2,300 times 6. Get an impulse of 7,682 kilograms meter per second. Since that is the delta P, that is also our impulse. Okay. And just as a refresher, this is the final momentum of the truck minus the initial momentum of the truck is what's equaling our delta P, just as a refresher. All right, next is how long did the collision last? Well, we're going to use the equation impulse equals force divided by time. I have my impulse right here, so I'm going to do 7,682 divided by the force, which is 8,540, and it comes out as a big old decimal 0.899, etc. So I'm just going to round it to 0.9 seconds. So that's the total amount of time of the collision. So they collided for a little bit less than a second. All right, last bit is final velocity of the car. So again, I know that I have a delta P, I have a change in momentum, right? And I know that my momentum, the truck gained momentum, so my car is going to lose momentum, and it's going to lose this much. So I am going to take the 14,000, the starting momentum that it had, and I'm going to subtract the impulse, 6,000 or 7,682, subtracting my impulse. So this is my starting momentum minus my impulse, because it's the one that lost, and that is going to give me 6,318 kilogram meters per second. Now that is my final impulse, or sorry, my final momentum. I want the velocity. So momentum, my final momentum is mass times my final velocity. So I'm going to take this value, the 6,318, and divide it by the mass of my car, which is 1,000 kilograms. So I'm going to get 6.32 meters per second is the final velocity. So that's going to be my final velocity there.